The world of gaming is more accessible than ever before, with places like Steam, Epic, Itch, and more being platforms for developers to post their games, both big and small. Using these resources, it's almost impossible to not find something that is enjoyable to you. Countless genres from roguelikes to survival games to cute and cozy farming sims. If you can't find something, you're not looking hard enough. With this sheer volume of games though, it's equally likely that you'll find something that you don't like. Most people will simply read the tags or reviews on these games, but some people go the step further with their dislike. These people begin to label certain games with undesirable phrases, notably as slop. When a genre becomes oversaturated, slop tends to be a phrase that is thrown around regularly. Merriam-Webster has already adopted this term, deeming slop as digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. But slop is, as it says, more broadly, a product of little or no value. I want to focus on the second definition today and avoid heated conversation about the use of AI in the gaming space, no matter how passionate I actually am about it. Instead, I have 3 types of slop that I identified, some more famous than others, that I want to discuss with you. First is the most famous type of slop, friend slop. Friend slop refers to cheap, usually indie games with simple multiplayer premises. These games are learned in under 5 minutes and generally cost less than $15. A common through line for these games is that they spring up on famous Twitch and YouTube channels for about a month, only to die just as quickly. Friend slop really started, to my knowledge, or possibly just in my opinion, with the game Lethal Company. Releasing October 23rd, 2023, it checks all the boxes. Multiplayer? Check. Under $15? Check. And of course, it peaked at 240,817 players in December of 23, only to sit at around 5,000 now as of July 26. This game spawned not only the title of Friend Slop, but also its own subgenre of gaming. The premise of Lethal Company is you, get this, work for a company, going to different moons to collect scrap to sell to meet a quota. Inside these locations will be various monsters that want to kill you, preventing you from meeting the quota because you'll be dead. The extra money you have can be used to buy gadgets to make life easier for your next run. The game is essentially never ending if you're good enough, but wacky shenanigans between players generally lead to the demise of a run. This genre of grab and go but avoid the monsters is popular enough to have several similar games. The biggest 2 that come to mind are R.E.P.O and Content Warning. Both have the same premise, just with a few key differences. R.E.P.O, you have the goofy physics of lifting the items that leads to the items breaking and losing value. Content Warning, you are recording videos instead of collecting scrap or treasures, but you're still looking to make money in the form of views. These 2 are some of the most popular examples of the subgenre, but countless lethal clones have hit Steam since its inception. This is simply one type of friend slop game. Another huge example would be the Backrooms style of games, which has many in its genre as well. Escape the Backrooms is the primary example of this subgenre, but there are countless others including Backrooms Escape Together, Inside the Backrooms, and at least 5 games just titled Backrooms on Steam. All of these games have the same principle. Don't die in the backrooms as you make your way through the various levels. With limited content and a hungry fan base, these games tend to fluctuate constantly. Obviously, the Backrooms movie helped to surge the popularity of these games, but the fluctuations definitely still exist. Which brings us to a very important part of friend slop games: updates. Whenever a friend slop game updates, there's a chance some of the fan base will return to not only relive the glory days, but also to check out the new content. Updates can breathe new life into dead games or just be a notification on the Steam library page. Either way, updates are the only gamble that developers really have to try and reinvigorate their game. These updates can bring streamers and content creators back to the game, bringing in revenue once again. Without updates, a friend slop game is condemned to a slow, painful, inevitable death for all but the die-hardest of players. There are plenty of friend slop games that don't fit into the 2 categories I mentioned, and may even be unique enough to stand alone. Peak, Are We There Yet, and Guilty as Sock to name a few, but regardless of which game you pick, they generally fit into the same criteria. Now, is every multiplayer game a friend slop game? Absolutely not, at least in my opinion. Some games stand the test of time and do not fizzle away, such as Among Us, which of course has a show, merch, and around 15,000 current players. Despite being cheap and dipping off considerably from its heyday, the game is iconic enough to avoid the slop title. Some games themselves are not friend slop, but spawn enough copycats that are considered slop themselves. An example of this is Phasmophobia, with its $20 price tag and humble 13,000 players. Phas itself is, in my opinion, too popular to be labeled slop, but games that take great inspiration from it, such as Ghost Watchers and Devour, do not have the longevity to negate being in slop territory. Now the question remains, is Friend Slop an appropriate title? People fling slop around to criticize these games, and overall, it can make sense. Countless clones of the same types of games, and games that only hold people's attention for 24 hours can be infuriating as they clog the proverbial drain of the Steam catalog. But at the end of the day, let's do the math. The average price of a movie ticket in 2026 is around $16 according to CableTV.com. Paying for this ticket to see a movie that can be anywhere from 90 to 130 minutes depending on the genre will cost you more than the average Friend Slop game, not to mention the cost of snacks and drinks at the theater. So buying a game that you might only play for 2 to 4 hours with friends is already worth it. Plus you get to keep the game. Once you see the movie, the experience is over. But a Friend Slop video game sits in your library in case you get the itch to play it again, or if it updates. So, in the end, Friend Slop is merely a phrase for the haters. If you enjoy these little Friend Slop games like I do, embrace the title. Reclaim it for yourself and have fun playing in the slop. The second type of slop that's out on the market is what's referred to as indie slop. The rise of indie gaming has been an increase on not only the quantity, but particularly the quality of video gaming as a whole. Small developers put their heart and soul into a gamble that may or may not pay off for them in order to bring us their vision. These indie games tend to be less graphically intense and impressive, but give us high-quality gameplay at a cheaper price. Unfortunately, just like WiiWare on the Nintendo Wii, it is easy to shovel endless rip-offs, knockoffs, and undercooked pieces of media onto places like Steam. While I said I'd avoid talk of AI, and for the most part I will, it is important to note that the use of AI has not helped in this department, as assets and art can come from AI generation rather than from developers. The argument was that these AI-ridden shovelware-like games would be determined as indie slop, I would be in complete agreement, but this is simply not where the term goes. Instead, indie slop is used to refer to any indie game regardless of quality, simply for not being a AAA title. Folks who like big AAA games tend to follow one of the names familiar to even non-gamers: Nintendo, Sony, EA, Ubisoft, etc. These games can, no doubt, be absolute masterpieces. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, The Witcher 3, God of War 2018. These games all have beautiful graphics, fun and engaging gameplay, and wonderful stories. While all of this is true, this does not diminish the beauty of a simple game, and particularly one without a $60 plus price tag. That brings out our third type of slop, which I have titled AAA slop, for simplicity's sake. I want to talk about indie slop and AAA slop under the same umbrella. Despite huge budgets, AAA games can still be absolute garbage. Take infamous games like Golem or Skull and Bones. These games were set up for success with ginormous teams and budgets alike, but were still riddled with problems. Loyal stands of AAA companies will K or Call of Duty despite these problems and repetitive gameplay. This is where the AAA slop comes in for me. The love is lost in AAA games. There's simply no passion. It's easy for these companies to churn out subpar games. They have the money, the people, and the buyers to make whatever they want and still turn a decent profit. Indie developers simply do not have that luxury. This gamble for indie developers simply requires them to put as much passion, effort, and heart into their games as they hope it reaches the right audiences. Now look, I'm a bona fide Nintendo fan myself, and find myself shelling out the obligatory $70 for each new Pokemon game, so I'm as guilty as the rest of them. I also buy indie games by the dozens on the Steam sale and run into plenty of regret games. If you're asking my opinion, I tend to fall on the side of indie games for their budget-friendly, lovingly crafted options, and because I find AAA games and their prices rather predatory. But this does not mean I think it's bad if you drink the AAA Kool-Aid. At the end of the day, play what you enjoy, and at the end of the same day, you might like something that people call slop. Just like with Friend Slop, don't let haters decide what you play. Simply play what you enjoy. And that's it. 3 types of slop. Well, at least 3 types of slop that I've sort of identified, I guess, or made up, because I guess the last one I kind of made up. But anyways, I found it really enjoyable to talk to you about all this stuff and kind of have like a video essay style of video, although it's rather short to be an essay, but a little video just to kind of talk about things that I'm interested in, and hopefully you found interesting too. So if you did enjoy the videos, check out some of my other ones, and maybe subscribe if you're feeling so inclined. But I really did enjoy this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!